Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
Who isn't having the life force sucked out of them? Kind of the exact opposite. Our very own Cleveland Crunch, of course, LPV Productions, who helps produce this show and produces the live stream games through the MLIS network or MLIS league, and their live streaming network, LPV Production, provides that. I've been calling the games alongside Mark Munch Bishop, a longtime member of the Cleveland sports media, broadcasting, sports talk scene here in Cleveland. And boy, last night, even though I wasn't able to be there on the call, Munch did a terrific job, and the team did a terrific job as they got the win 12-6 in a wild card playoff. They put themselves in that position. They lost to Grand Rapids a couple times, allowed Grand Rapids to win the division. They had to win their way in against Chicago, and boy, did they do so last night. Mikey Derizic with the big game last night, double dare up top. Admir Suljevic doing his thing in the middle of the pitch. Aiden Bozak, one of their defenders, got them started. Really, Chicago hit them first with that 50 seconds in goal. Mm-hmm. That's what the Crunch usually do. They're the ones that hit you within that first minute. And Chicago did that on the counterattack. And then Aiden Bozak said, well, I'm going to get our boys back in this. And scored 2 straight goals to put them on top. And I don't think they trailed or were tied after that point. I think the closest that Chicago got was 4-3.
Yeah.
Just after halftime, because there was a red card shown to Kevin Blackwood. Now, Peter, I got to ask you, and I need you to be honest with me because it was tough. It's tough to see just through the live stream. You were there live. I know your back was to the actual field, but you were a lot closer to the actual screens of this happening live. How much did Kevin Blackwood hit him? I know that as soon as you push him after the play, like you're going to get some sort of card, but the guy goes down holding his face or his neck. Didn't seem like that intense.
I actually spoke with one of the refs at halftime too because he asked about that, and because the player on Chicago, they were really
dying.
They were pestering Blackwood like big time.
That's my dude too.
They were going after him.
Kevin Allgood Blackwood.
Yeah,
that's my dude. He's the bulldog of that team. For
definitely.
Sure.
Him and McCain Spragman, like two of the bulldogs that come out. Oh, I love those guys.
The thing is, from what it looked like Kevin hit him in the face.
Okay,
it was why he got the red card. And the thing is, when you see that arm go straight out like that, a card's coming.
Yeah. And
I think if he would have hit him in the chest, I don't think he would have got a red card. But I will say this: Chicago, they must have excellent acting schools because those guys, we were surprised. There was one play later in the game. I think it was in the third quarter. I can't remember.
I think I know the one you're talking about.
Where the Chicago guy falls over his goalie.
Oh yeah.
And it's like they looked and they're like, oh wait, it's my guy. I can't grab my head. It's like that pause there. But it's
better actors on faking getting hurt during the play. Basketball players or soccer players?
Soccer.
Soccer because they've done it longer, but it's one of the things that again keeps the average sports fan, especially here in America, away from the game of soccer and taking that up.
Oh,
but
like when I was watching the World Cup and I'd see these people barely get hit, they're like, "Ah!" Go down. Everything was so dramatic. I don't know what you're talking about. I found it hilarious, dude. I'm sorry. All I could think of is the Sports Center, the Phantom of the Flop thing. I'm like, man, I could just do a whole segment of these guys.
So, and I think that's what makes this show great, especially when we talk about things like soccer, where one of us is into it, one of us is just starting to relate and understanding why so many people do like it but haven't gotten into it at that level. You're saying that you're finding it funny. You're kind of like,
I know people were also annoyed by it too.
Yes, but the same people. Part of my promotion of the game of soccer is actually utilizing the dive, what they call diving or flopping on the ground and acting like they got the worst injury of all time, and then getting up and not even limping, showing any sort of signs. As long as they know that they got the foul and the person got a yellow card like they wanted. They did their job, so now they can get up and they can go play and run. I even saw a guy last night from Chicago. It was an even tackle. They didn't call a foul on it, which was good. But the guy goes down, he's hurt, and the Crunch, when you have the ball, you have every right to continue to play. You don't have to kick it out of bounds. You don't have to take that good sportsmanship mentality. If you have the advantage,
You go.
you go. And in a
'Cause
game
they're
like
going to do it to you.
they're going to do it to you, and it was a close game, so the Crunch were still in the thick of things. They're trying to win this game. It's one game, and your either season ends or it continues. And
Not to mention, dude, like we're talking, who knows if that dude's faking or is he hurt?
He
And
was
you're not
de-
going to let him fake you out of a goal situation.
so that's what's so funny is I know he was faking. He was writhing on the ground in pain trying to get the foul call. He didn't. And as the Chicago wins possession back and quickly pans the other way, they don't kick it out of play either. They keep going because that same guy is running like, nothing ever even happened. So it didn't work. He didn't do his job.
So soccer players don't have Wolverine healing skills?
How they act like they do. But
Man, they go fast.
But again, when I promote the game of soccer, I use those kind of moments saying, I know it frustrates the average fan, and I know that's what's putting you off of it. But as a deep-rooted soccer fan, and I've had conversations with other deep-rooted soccer fans, it is frustrating to us too. And when we coach younger kids, we make sure we don't coach that like other clubs and other youth organizations are. There are teams that my teams faced where their kids did this. This is like U9, U10, whatever. There are organizations that taught their kids this type of stuff. And I get it because it is part of the game. And if they're going to be talented enough to make it to higher levels, like it's still going to be part of it. But to get it out, start it at the youth level. Coaches, stop showing kids that this is okay. It is not. If they truly get fouled and get hurt, that is a deep-rooted concern and something that, if they're on the ground and in pain, like you go out there and you take care of them. But if you're telling them to go down and grab at their shin when it looks like they got maybe touched on the foot, or they're grabbing at their arm when it looks like they got hit in the opposite shoulder, like, stop. That's got to stop, and that's how we're going to get more people into it, because then the run of play, the exciting action that actually happens in soccer, even in a 0-0 or 1-0 match on the outdoor side, but especially in the indoor game where it is fast-paced, you're going to see a lot of goals. More people will get into it that aren't. That's my soapbox of the day, and I'm sorry.
Did you see? Well, playing off what you said about that, where the player gets up, there was the one where the Chicago player went down, and they were looking for a stoppage, and the refs didn't blow the whistle, so the Crunch just passed it and scored a goal.
Yeah.
Because the guy's still on the ground, like, waiting for a call, and the refs are like, no. Because they knew it was BS.
Just play on. Yeah, it was BS.
No, like when a player gets hurt, like like I was watching the World Cup, and they'll lay down, and he's down, they just keep going.
Yeah.
Like, it is a cold-blooded sport, man. I'll give you that much.
Yeah. And
like, I seen I don't remember who it was, but he got hurt, actually. He was hurt, and he was down for like a couple minutes. It wasn't because someone hit him or anything. He just down. I think he pulled a muscle.
And to be honest, I don't see that as often from the U.S. players as I do around the world. Like, that's one good thing about the U.S. players is, we do come from a tough country, and we do have physical sports here. So, like, when you take contact, if you take true contact, you're going to go down, you're going to be hurt, but you're going to try to dust yourself off and get back in. Most often, if a U.S. player doesn't get back up, I know that they're really hurt. Now, at times, they take the dives and flop a little too because they know that that's what's going to keep them in the match. Yeah, it's part of competitive advantage or keeping it as equal as possible. But yeah, it's a problem. We went too long with all that stuff. But again, shout out to the Crunch. They make it to the Final Four of the first.
I triggered you there, Kevin. Just a little bit on that.
No, I trigger myself. They make it to the Final Four, MLIS playoffs. They head to Chicago next weekend. Semifinals, they will face off against the 1 seed Omaha Kings on Saturday. So make sure you go to theclevelandcrunch.com. I'm sure the live stream link will at least be posted there, if not played there, under their live streaming section of their website.